The Dark Sun. Next, Renhojo. Ruri, Miyu, Miku, Hisoka, and Yuri all fall into an unusually deep slumber. Ren fears that while this persists, the defenseless group may be vulnerable to attack. Time to get back to those surveillance cameras. Ren knows he must find out what's going on with Mount Hikami before something comes to pay a visit.
But sunrise isn't for another few hours.
That light. It might be a sign of something strange happening on Mount Hikami. Something might be on its way here again. I should keep an eye on the surveillance camera feeds. Alright, if you all watched my Japanese playthrough, you know this is my absolute favorite chapter.
They're here.
Damn it. That's the room me and her mother are sleeping in. I've got to rescue them. Missed my shot. Come on, move. is alright. The spirits aren't here yet. I should go check on Miyu and her mother. On the Shadowborn. Okay, this was the book I was talking about earlier. Where ghost marriages take place, tales of children of the dead are often found. They are known as Shadowborn, or children of the underworld, and are feared by the people. The Shadowborn. Once, a man beloved by a girl living in a small village went missing in the mountains. Every day, the girl went to the mountain shrine to pray for his return, but years went by, and the man never came back. After 10 years, the girl had lost her mind. She went on living and talking to a man who wasn't there. One day, the villagers noticed that she was with child. She said that the man who had gone missing was the father. Ignoring the talk in the village about the identity of the father, she gave birth alone. The baby girl that was born had the missing man's eyes. As for the man, he was an outsider who had stumbled upon the village. It later transpired he was killed by the villagers 10 years prior. When the child learned how to speak, she asked the villagers, "Why did you kill my father?" So that ghost earlier mentioned that Miyu is Shadowborn. And Shadowborn children have a parent who's a ghost. So thus implying that Miyu is the product of Mafuyu's ghost, who is Miku's older brother. And I'm kind of really annoyed with how they've decided to take in Miku's character in this game. Because last time we saw Miku, she had gotten over her brother's death. She had not gotten over, but she had learned to move on and not be in pain and grief from it any further. Only for it to be, like, backtracked like crazy mad. Like, there was no hint of any sort of incestuous feelings at all in the previous games that Miku's been in, but, you know, now all of a sudden we have it. And it's annoying. Because it's like, wow, she's, like, completely just... It made an ending of a game completely invalid. They seem to be alright, except for the nightmares. The ghost I saw walk in is nowhere to be seen. Aha! I saw you, girl. The screams are kind of funny when you fatal glance them. Ryuri is breathing quietly in deep slumber. What's that book? It's about folk tales surrounding Mount Hikami. I should probably take a look at it as well. Was Ryuri reading this before she went to sleep? Water has been deified on Mount Hikami for centuries. The water from the lake of the departed envelopes the mountain in mist. To the locals, the water is the source of the soul and where the soul returns to in death. This belief likely spread due to water being tied to everything with the wet and humid climate. The people fear nature, revere it, and live among it. This may show the true character of the locals.
Mount Hikami. Here on the mountain, water itself was revered and worshipped. Souls come from the water. And it's where they return to in death.
Okay. So, seems like something's going on in Yuri's room. Again, we're gonna read her diary while she sleeps. The words "I won't let you" brought me back to my senses. They overwhelmed me. The words were so powerful, so absolute. They really got to me. But what really got to me, stick around, was something small. HISOKA'S favorite words. Sometimes a cup of coffee can make all the difference. It was such a little thing, but I never noticed it. Yuri's bathed in the red glow, but is still in a deep sleep. Everything seems to be fine in her room. Something has fallen under the bed. A book Yuri was reading? It might be worth checking out. This poor guy. Touch the bat. Water, life, and death. The beliefs of Mount Hikami are related to beliefs found all over the country. The water is life, and in death the soul must return there. People came to the mountain to return their souls to the mother that gave it to them. To die a proper death. The belief that dying in the mountain's water was somehow proper. This shows a strong yearning for nature itself, with death as just another part thereof. I'm worried about what's going on in the other rooms. I should check the camera feed. And once again, I think I mentioned it earlier, and I've mentioned it a couple of times in the Japanese one I know, that this game came out about the same time Five Nights at Freddy's did. It's like pure coincidence they have the surveillance camera thing.
I know I'll remember you forever and evermore.
Huh. That was creepy. Inhabitants of Mount Hikami have long held peculiar beliefs about life and death. People would go there for special rituals and offer their lives to the dark waters of the mountain lake. Mount Hikami has always been known for the many suicides that take place there.
Souls are born of water, and water is what they revert to. To seek death in the waters of the mountain was to be reborn. A means to a proper death.
remember correctly, you have to be careful with this one. She can really do some damage. I say as she tackles me. What?
You will not escape. You will not escape.
At least I got one of them. What? Okay, well, I'll take it. This might be the end. My body is growing colder and my blood runs clear like water. My body shakes with the mountain. I can't move. I wanted Mr. Hojo to get away at least. But he can't escape. He has become an outsider. He must choose. The one he doesn't choose will be thrown away. I don't think Mr. Hojo will be able to do it. But it's already too late. He needs to choose someone. He needs to end it with someone.
You will not escape.
Jesus, she's tall. I still didn't get her photo. There's Kaguya.
This one here is to be bound as well.
This book seems to be about reliquaries. The black boxes found on Mount Hikami were filled with life, with death, and with fear. In short, they were filled with human sacrifices. Shrine maidens were put in these reliquaries to protect the locals by appeasing the Shadow Spring. This Shadow Spring served as a bridge to the Netherworld. In other words, beneath the water, the source of all life, exists the Underworld. The black water came from the Underworld itself, and with it came disaster and ruin. The border between life and death was faint in that place. The Shrine Maidens were said to take on the memories of people who came to die. This seems to be similar to the spirit channeling seen in other parts of the country. To take on the memories of the dying is to share in death. The maidens glanced people's souls as they died, taking their secrets as they were sealed in the reliquaries. The Shrine Maidens became one with the water to connect with the people they glanced. The Shrine Maidens ferried people to their death via the water. The Maidens of Mount Hikami presided over death, but this may have been an effort to protect those still living. I'm worried about what's going on in the other rooms. I should check the camera feed. And you continue to worry about that. The religion practiced on Mount Hikami relied on the Shrine Maidens. They were the ones guarding the border between worlds. They had two main duties. The first one was to oversee the deaths of those who made the pilgrimage to Mount Hikami, and the second one.
And in order to preserve the water's purity, Shrine Maidens were chosen to be immortal flowers, human sacrifices, or pillars offered up to the water. They were placed inside those black boxes.
It won't open. It is being held shut by a powerful force. Are you kidding me? Why does it... Oh.
Down into the depths of the black water. Spread the pure water at the surface.
This fight isn't easy.
The pure water of the darkness. Come with me.
Ghost Brides. Oh, it's by Keiji Watarai. Maidens within the casket suffer through an eternal cycle of life and death as they slowly melt into the water. To protect the mountain, the shrine maidens must endure that pain and suffering alone, until they can take no more. There's a ceremony to soothe the suffering of the maidens' souls, allowing the pillar to persist longer. This is the ghost marriage. Living men are brought to the mountain as grooms for the suffering shrine maidens. They choose their maiden and then exchange their vows. At the moment their souls join, her soul is said to return to this world. The maiden is then placed back into her casket, groom in tow, so that she can continue to uphold the border between life and death. Until maiden is bound by ghost marriage, she is alone. She must wait to be chosen. This ritual invokes emotions that transcend life and death. Perhaps this is part of the deep-rooted beliefs of this region, where nature is both feared and revered by the people. I'm worried about what's going on in the other rooms. I should check the camera feed. I couldn't make it. Just as I thought I had her, she fell. Akari, I couldn't save her. Forgive me. Those words still echo in my mind. Maybe in chasing after Akari, I pushed her too far. I'm so relieved. Thank you. The forced niceties made it so much harder. After that call, I cried so much I thought I might die. She slipped through my fingers. I feel like Yuri will too.
Miku, Rui. I was right to bring them back. But what will happen when the mountain loses its pillars?
I've been here before. This is where the ghost marriage ceremonies were held. Rin learned of the true purpose of the rituals performed on Mount Hikami. The mountain acts as a boundary between the world of the living and that of the dead, a place at which the souls of visitors were returned to the water from which they were born. Shrine maidens absorbed the memories of the dying, and when they could take no more, they were sacrificed in reliquaries. Ghost marriages served to console and strengthen the souls of those sacrificed. Wedded couples were thrown into the darkness that leads to the netherworld. Water connects everything. Ooh, an S rank. Hells yeah. Alright. So, that's the end of that chapter. The last drop. This is where... Now, this game has multiple endings depending on what you do. And I will try and get all of them. I'm going to try and get ones that are different than what I did in my Japanese playthrough first, and then I'll get the rest. Alright, well thank you very much for watching. Do please like, subscribe, and fave for more Fatal Frame, Maiden of the Black Water, and other videos.